Hello, welcome to class today. I'm so happy to be able to do this outside. And today we're going to do a quickie. So I have, let's say, about 8 poses that we're going to go through together, and we're going to flow through it just a couple times. Might be a good thing to do in the morning to help you wake up the body. We'll do some warm-up poses to get into the flow, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. Okay, so I think to start off, you can come to child's pose. So toes together, knees a little bit wider than your hips, sending your hips back to heels. Remember that blocks are always available to you, if you have them, to bring the floor up a level. So if it's hard for you to get your hips back to heels, put a block under there. And then go ahead and just sink your torso down, forehead to the mat. And just start to tune into your breathing. Notice the rise and fall of your breath. Allow yourself to really soften down. Try to release the tension in your shoulders. Soften your face, your jaw, that space between your eyebrows. Just let everything relax. Bring an intention into your practice. So how do you want to show up on your mat in the next 30 or so minutes? Practicing paying attention to what's happening inside and outside. Take another deep breath in and a slow breath out. Press yourself up to tabletop. All right, bring your knees under hips and wrist creases parallel to the short edge of your mat. Just close your eyes and do a bit of organic movements. So making big circles with the ribs, kind of coming through cat-cow, letting the head follow, letting the shoulders wiggle. You can have your toes tucked or flat. Whatever feels best for you as you start to wake up the back line of the body. Maybe press your hips to one side and then the other side. Maybe forward and back a few times. Walk your hands forward about 1 palm width. Tuck your toes underneath you and lift your knees and hips back to downward facing dog. And then again, feel free to move here, right? You want to start to wake up the body, wake up the whole back line of the body, sending your sit bones up towards the sky or the ceiling, depending on where you are right now. Again, I want to thank you for showing up for class. Even though we're not together, we're together, which is really amazing. All right, come forward to plank. Press back to downward facing dog. Come up onto your toes, roll forward to plank. And back to downward facing dog. One more time, roll forward to plank. Pick up your right foot, tap it off the mat, bring it back onto the mat. Pick up your left foot, tap it off the mat, bring it back onto the mat, and lower yourself down to the floor. Take an inhale for a baby cobra. Exhale to release. Fingertips off the mat, press yourself up a little bit taller. Exhale to release. Baby cobra, maybe the hands float. Exhale to lower down. Peel yourself up, cobra. And exhale to release. Press yourself through table, back to downward facing dog. Now you're going to take the right foot, sweep it up. Keep your hips nice and square, and then bend the right knee. Stack right hip over left, and make big circles with that right knee. And just let the hips move. Just make some circles here. If this is challenging, doing it in downward dog. You could do this in tabletop as well. Just making big circles with that right knee. Trying to stack right hip over left. Feel a nice opening here. Maybe extend the right leg. And then find downward dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Lower yourself down. Find a back bend. And back to downward dog. We'll do the opposite side. So left foot's going to sweep up. And you'll just make some big circles. Yeah, big circles. One direction, the other direction. Stack the left hip over the right. Big, big opening stretch that left leg. And then place it back down. Inhale up onto your toes. Exhale your knees to the mat. And just sit back on your heels for a moment. Bring your hands to your knees. Couple big breaths. Slow breaths. See, my toes are tucked. You could have flat feet as well. And then you'll just take an inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, press your hips up over your knees, lift the back of your heart up. And then as you exhale, just sit back down onto your heels. Inhale, sweep up. So you're lifting up, you're pressing your hips forward, lengthening the lower back, but then reach the back of the heart up. So it's a little bit of a back bend, and then sit back on your heels. One more time. Inhale, sweep up, flatten your palms up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, sit back down. Press yourself to tabletop and find downward facing dog. Sweep the right foot up, not the right arm, that would be hard. Right foot up, and then step it forward to low lunge. So you're coming to low lunge, bring the left knee down. Right knee is over the ankle. You can keep your hands on the floor or blocks. You can keep your back toe tucked, and you're just going to lift up the back knee. So now you're coming to runner's lunge. Pull the right hip back. Think of both sit bones pulling back. And then exhale, lower the left knee down. Sweep your arms up overhead. One breath, inhale. And then exhale, hands come down, back foot lifts up. And you're going to step the left foot forward and then the right foot back. And bring the right knee down. So you're in this low lunge. You can let the hips get very heavy for a little moment here as you start to open up that other side. Then you're lifting up the back knee. Pull both sit bones back and up. Push into the front heel a lot. And then lower the knee down. Lift it up again. Lower it down. Sweep your arms up overhead. Inhale. And then as you exhale, hands can come to the floor, and now you'll step forward. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive. Come up to stand. Inhale. And exhale, forward fold. So right away, you're going to come back towards the floor. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, downward dog. So we're back into our downward dog here. Excellent. Inhale, lift the right foot up. Stack right hip over left. Can you stack your right hip over your left and pop up onto your right fingertips? So you're really pushing into the left heel, really pushing into the left palm. Your right fingertips are coming off the floor. Maybe you could even bring them towards the center of your mat. So you're balancing more or less on one foot and one hand. Stacking the right hip over the left, pointing the right knee up. And then as you come forward to plank, float the right foot. Come all the way down. Find your back bend. And make your way to downward dog. Let's do the opposite side. So left foot's coming up. And then you're going to stack left hip over right. Yeah, and I just let my left foot kind of dangle. Point the left knee up a lot. Really push into the right hand, push into the right heel, and then pop up on your left fingertips. So you're taking the palm off of the mat. You can stay here. You can bring that left palm more towards the center. Maybe you can float the left hand off the floor, and you're really just balancing on right foot, right hand. One more breath. And then make your way to down, scorpion. So down dog with the left knee lifted. And then come forward to plank. Hover the left foot. Find your way to your mat. Find a back bend. And then press to tabletop. Lower the belly down. Come to cow. And press yourself up to cat. Lower the belly down. And press yourself up. Come to neutral. Tuck your lower ribs in. Press your lower ribs up. So you have like a band, like a ribbon coming around your lower ribs. You're going to extend the right leg behind you. Flex the toes down and turn them in a little bit. Your hips are square. Big breath in here. Slow breath out. Pivot on your left knee and bring the right foot down to the floor of the mat. Press your hips forward. Right hand is going to lift up. It can come to your heart. It could sweep up towards the ceiling. You could bend the elbow and have the hand behind your head. Really press into the edge of the right foot, so the pinky side of your right foot. Press your hips forward. Arch your ribs up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring that right foot all the way to the top of the mat for low lunge. Inhale, lift up the back knee, and the torso comes up. High lunge. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Open to warrior two. So you're just pivoting on that back foot. I'm going to turn so I can face you. So you're pivoting on your back foot. So the pinky side of the foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Hips are nice and square. Take a deep breath in here. And a slow breath out. Soften your shoulders down your back. Inhale. Exhale. Cartwheel your hands to the floor. Find downward facing dog. Come back to tabletop. One time, lower the belly down. Exhale, press the belly up. Find cat back, tuck the chin. And then neutral. Pressing your lower ribs up so that you feel activation in your core. And now the left foot is going to go back. You're going to extend that left foot back. Make sure your hips are still nice and square. Check behind, your toes are down and turned in slightly. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. You're pivoting on the right knee, bringing the sole of the left foot down. So we're prepping for gate pose. Press your hips forward. Reach left arm. It can be overhead. It can be up towards the ceiling. It can be bent. Just make sure this bottom shoulder is not rolling inwards. You're pulling your shoulder back, drawing your shoulder blades together. I like to bend the elbow just for now. And press the back of the head into the hand. Reach your ribs up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale. Exhale, look to the front of the mat and draw that left foot forward and up. So you're pivoting on the right knee. Low lunge. Lift up the back knee and then find high lunge. Again, hips are square. You're pushing into your front heel. Your knee is tracking towards the pinky toe, pulling the lower belly in, lengthening the lower back. Big inhale. Again, I'm going to just turn so I can face you. And then as you exhale, you're opening to warrior two. So sometimes you have to adjust your stance. Trying to get those hips nice and level. Knee over the ankle. You're lifting the back arch. Shoulders are relaxed. Maybe your gaze is forward. Maybe you turn your palms up just for a different sensation. But remember, you're engaging the core. Outer glutes are activated. Outer hips are activated. Shoulders are relaxed. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor. Step forward. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. So tailbone pulls up and back, outer shoulders up and back, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Stay here. You're going to bend the left knee, extend the right foot up and back. So you're coming to standing splits with square hips. Press the heel up a lot. Flex your toes down towards the mat. Press the heel up a lot. Feel this in the back of the leg. Big breath in. And then slow breath out. Release. Take a half lift. Soft bend in the knees. Reach the sit bones back. Tailbone up. Outer shoulders up and back. Fold. Left heel is going to lift up. Standing splits opposite side. So hips stay square. Toes flex down. Heel presses up and back. It's not about opening the hips and having an actual standing splits. It's almost like when we're in tabletop, you're pressing the heel up. Big inhale. And then exhale, release. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. Come up to stand. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. One inhale. We're going to put all of that together. So we are going to flip our downward dog. If that's not accessible to you, then I'll show you an option, some way that you could do it a bit differently. So hands by your sides. Let's sweep the arms up. Inhale. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, sweep the right foot up. Stack right hip over left. Bend the knee. Big breath in here. If it's available to you, you're going to come up onto your left toes, pivot on that left foot so the pinky side of the foot comes down, and you're taking the right foot behind you to the floor. And then press your hips up and turn to try and face the sky or the ceiling. Right hand can reach overhead. You could have your right foot flat or on your toes. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to find gate. So that right knee is going to come all the way to the floor underneath your right hip. And you're going to pivot and sweep the left arm up or forward. Inhale, lift up the left foot and find your low lunge. So you're stepping forward, low lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Take a big breath in. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor. Pick up your back foot, standing splits. And then change feet. So you're going to step the right foot down, left foot up. Step left foot back. Step right foot up and back. Downward dog. Opposite side. Left foot up. Stack left hip over right. So if flipping your dog is not accessible, you can stay in scorpion. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, you can come forward to plank and place your left knee down. Pivot to gate pose. Some of us are here. And then you'll flip to gate pose. Lift the right foot up. Step it forward. Low lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor. Pick up the back foot, standing splits. Place it down. Standing splits, opposite side. Step that foot back. Three-legged dog. Downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Just stay here for a moment. Maybe take a Sphinx pose. Okay, so we did flip dog, and then we did this version of scorpion right to gate pose. So you have those two options. If you choose scorpion to gate pose, you'll have an extra breath in gate pose. Just kind of stay in gate pose until I cue you for low lunge. And we'll see what happens with the standing splits. We'll try to flow, and if the standing splits with the change of feet is awkward, no problem. We'll just skip it, okay? So let's try it again. So hands come down, press yourself through table, back to downward dog. Inhale, sweep the right foot up, stack right hip over left. Exhale here. Inhale up onto your left toes and flip your dog. Press your hips up. And then exhale to gate pose. Inhale, sweep the left arm up and over. Exhale to low lunge. Inhale to high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, exalt. Exhale, standing splits. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale, step that right foot back. Take the left foot all the way up and back. Three-legged dog, scorpion. That feels better. Flip your dog. Press your hips up. Find your gate pose. Inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel. Pick up the back foot. Step it all the way back. So you're in runner's lunge. Three-legged dog. Stack your hips. Flip your dog. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, prep for gate. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the floor. Pick up the back foot. Step that back foot back. Sweep the right leg, the left front leg, left leg up and back. Flip your dog. Inhale. Exhale, prep for gate. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise up. So I cartwheel my arms often to help with the flow. Warrior two, reverse. One more time, each side. Cartwheel your hands to the floor, pick up the back foot, step all the way back, and then all the way up and back. Three-legged dog. Wild thing. Gate. Low lunge. High lunge. Warrior two. Reverse. Standing splits. Step back. Three-legged dog. Scorpion and flip. Gate pose. Low lunge. High lunge. Warrior two. Reverse. This time cartwheel to the floor, standing splits. Forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. Come up to stand, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, widen your feet, and then bring your hips down for Malasana squat. Yeah, this one can be passive. Sometimes we want to be a little bit more dynamic, but just you're trying to lengthen your spine still and press all four corners of your feet down. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Find your way onto a seated position and then extend your legs out towards the front of your mat. And just close your eyes for a moment. One more big breath. Exhale. Lean back. Place your hands on the floor. Fingertips can be towards your hips or they can be towards the back of the mat. It's really up to you. Push your palms down a lot. Lift your chest up and forward. So think of lifting the back of the heart up. Outer shoulders are rolling back. Shoulder blades are coming together. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Bend your knees. Place your feet hip distance apart and then press your hips up. Nice reverse table. Nice stretch for the front of the arms. Try to lengthen your lower back. Pull your lower belly in. Pull your belly button in. Knees are in line with your hips. Press the floor down a lot. Keep pulling your outer shoulders back. You can straighten your legs if you'd like. If your legs are straight, bring them back. And then drop your hips enough that you can lift your right knee towards you. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. And then have a seat. So the closer your chest is to your shin, so the smaller the shape, so it can be open or it can be nice and tight here. It's nice to have some movement as well. Just kind of move your knees, move your hips. If there's a lot of sensation in the knee, then flex the foot. So I'm up off my palms. I'm really pressing my fingertips down rather than having a flat hand. But that's just me. I find it helps to lengthen the spine. So it's really choose your own adventure here. And then you'll just open your shape up enough that you can take this left foot and kind of tuck it towards your right glute and then come to sit. So I'm going to face you. So you're coming to sit that right hip down onto the mat, onto a block, onto your foot. You just want to be grounded on that right side. And that right foot is just coming down on the opposite side of your left knee. So you kind of have the same shape, but now instead of the knee being out to the side, it's kind of up. You're going to give it a nice hug with your left hand and then just gentle twist. It doesn't have to be the deepest expression of the pose, just something that feels good. Now you want to find what feels good in your body. One more breath here. Exhale, lean back. Take your right foot out to the side and then place it down. Lift your chest up and then forward fold. So you would most likely be facing the front of your mat. I just turned to face the camera. 2 more breaths. Flex your toes so your right foot is still active. You can engage your right quad. Try to press that right sit bone down. And then press yourself back up. Bring your hands behind you and your feet back to the floor. So you're prepping for the other side. So your hands, fingertips forward or back, feet hip distance apart. Push into the heels to lift your hips up so you can stay in reverse table. If you want to take a reverse plank, that is also available to you. We're just going to hold this for 3, 2, 1. Slide your feet back towards you if you're in plank. Drop your hips enough that you can draw the left knee towards you, cross the left ankle over the right knee, and then have a seat. And then adjust the shape. It can be open or it can be very closed. It's really whatever your glutes desire. It's different. It can be different for every body, but also different for you every day. Depends on what kind of activity you're doing. You know, if you tend to do a lot of yoga, sometimes the glutes get really tight because we do a lot of external rotation. And so this might feel like a lot of sensation. Even though it's quite open, it's still high. Yeah, it always depends on where you're at. Maybe you started cycling and so your body just feels different. Or maybe you're just tired or dehydrated. That can actually affect your pose too. Okay, so you're going to widen enough, so open enough that you can take your right heel towards your left glutes. The sole of the left foot comes down as you sit up, right? And then you want to put that left butt cheek on something. You're going to press your chest up. Right hand wraps around left knee, left hand behind. You're taking a nice easy twist. Trying to draw that right rib cage inside the left thigh. Shoulders stay over hips. And then you're going to face the front of your mat, lean back, take that left foot up. Maybe you don't use your hands and just pivot so that the left leg extends out to the side. You can tuck the sole of the right foot in to the inner thigh and then gentle forward fold. Flex that left foot. Draw the toes back towards you. Big breath in. Let the head dangle maybe for this one. Press that left sit bone down. And then inhale, come back up to seated. You're going to lean back, bring the soles of the feet together. You know, it doesn't have to be the tightest shape. Maybe today you take more of a diamond shape. And then rock a little bit on your sit bones, pull the sit bones back. And then just let the torso come forward any amount. You can keep a straight spine. You can have a rounded spine. Allow yourself to melt down. And then slowly rolling yourself back up. If you're not facing the front of your mat, like I'm a little bit twisted, turn so that you can extend your legs, reach your arms forward, tuck your chin, and slowly roll yourself down onto your back. And take a big stretch. And then exhale, knees into your chest. And take your final resting pose. So if this is the start of the day for you, then maybe you take a shavasana, supported shavasana, but just a quickie. You don't want to fall into a really deep state of relaxation when we're starting out the day. But if it's the end of the day, maybe you take the legs up the wall. So you would move your mat up to the wall, or you could just take this modified legs up the wall. Maybe you take 10 breaths or so here before you come to shavasana. So I am going to end the practice here, and you can choose how you will end the practice, whether that's 10 breaths in shavasana or 2 or 3 minutes in shavasana. It's really up to you. Maybe you do a couple twists before you get there. Happy baby, you're definitely open enough for that. Or just the legs up the wall. There's so many options here. Choose what works for you. And wherever you go next, when you decide to get off your mat, may you carry this peace with you throughout your next activities, throughout what happens next, whether it's a full day or as you prepare for an evening or even prepare for bed. Thank you so much for being here with me in this space, in this practice. It is always with great gratitude that I leave you in light and I leave you in love. Namaste.